Yo, what up, Super Fun Force? Captain Games here, and today's game is going to be a Beyblade Lab podcast. And I want to quickly talk about Ultimate Valkyrie. This is some exciting news, and let me start with the rumors really quickly. A lot of people are speculating this could be the very last Valkyrie. When we saw the Takara Tomy video, they explained how all of the previous Valkyrie, incarnations basically were taken like piece by piece, or at least a certain aspect of it, and then put into Ultimate Valkyrie. Now, I'm not going to go into all of those details because you can kind of search for it out there. I will say that's a really, really cool idea. But to me, I think just taking certain little elements, like taking the red stripes on the face, the red marks from like Chozi Valkyrie or whatever, not really the best in my opinion. As a matter of fact, I think they missed out on a few key things that would have made it truly an Ultimate Valkyrie, and that is from the Chozi. If they gave it some kind of wing gimmick, that unlocked again from either, and the ultimate attack would have been a cool way to kind of describe it, since it is Ultimate Valkyrie, right? So, kind of like a limit break, but call it, ultimate attack, and have some of the wings come out, and maybe also include burst stoppers, and then the medal that was in the winning Valkyrie, victory Valkyrie. Why am I getting that confused right now? No worries. But either way, it needed metal. I mean, that was one of the best Valkyries when it came out. Again, fast, mobile, with extra added weight, right? Which is basically kind of what Perfect Dangerous is, or Perfect Dynamite, right? When you add the L gear on top, it's basically like a winning or victory Valkyrie. And I think that those two things were a really huge miss for this Ultimate Valkyrie. Like, I consider it like an almost Ultimate Valkyrie without the, wings that pop out, burst stoppers, and with some kind of metal. I mean, just a little bit of the metal inside the blade, just like what they did with Astral. But I don't know, maybe it would have been like seriously super OP. All right, so just basically I want to end this by saying, though, that it looks promising for sure, the way they've showed it. And, I'll definitely show you pictures here. You have the three blades with basically enough rubber to, almost mimic the power of Joker when Judgment Joker first came out and was just slamming and knocking out and bursting GT bays left and right. And it kind of takes from the uppercut ability from Louis, right? So basically with like Rage and Zwei, you have it now in a right spin mode, so it looks like the blades will start somewhat with a downward slope and then try to do a flick, like they say, which is basically the same thing almost as like a tornado uppercut, I guess. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I definitely want to check out whatever combinations could come out in the future. I do have a prototype, which I did some videos for. Overall, I'm not too excited with the Forge disc. I suspect it's going to probably weigh in the middle, like Karma. Like, it's not going to weigh as much as Over or Giga. Might weigh a little bit more than Tapered, Karma, and maybe just like a naked Nexus disc, basically. So I'm not too excited about it. It just looks like a Karma, with more blades, which if they actually made it so the blades pointed to the right and, maybe was able to kind of attack, that would have been super cool. Or the other thing they're missing from the Chozi Valkyrie was if they gave it like a fused frame with also a little bit of rubber on it, right? Like, that could have been super cool as well. But again, I think they really dropped the ball and missed the mark on the Forge disc. And lastly, I think the same goes for the driver, because essentially it's just a re-release, of course, of a super limited edition rubber driver. And I think what Takara Tomy is not quite understanding, or maybe they are, but because Dynamite Battle, at least in my opinion, and the way the WBBA plays, like in Japan and a lot of Asia, right, and still a lot of parts of the United States, basically the DB Stadium is the standard stadium, right? So the previous standard stadium was good up until Sparking, right? Because Sparking released a set with Helios and Hyperion, and when DB came out, it has its own set moving forward, it works because it's the right size to accommodate. And even though you can't typically do the simple basic flower pattern, I think it's funner to now play it and to learn new launch techniques and new strategies, which I've definitely evolved into my play style, rather than just, the same type of bank shots that create flower patterns. It's like, try different things now and launch from different positions, especially depending on how your opponent's launching and the matchup. And to me, it's gotten a lot more deeper and enjoyable because of that. So with that being said, I feel like what I've been seeing in my testing and a bunch of online battles and different tournaments and events is that rubber drivers aren't as successful on the DB Stadium for two reasons. Number one, because of the deeper slant into the center and the flatter edge that has that outer tornado ring, they can get caught on that. But also, the Beyblades themselves are just getting heavier and they're getting wider. And what that's doing is that's putting a lot more pressure onto the rubber driver, which is just basically creating more friction, and you're burning out of stamina even faster, and you're also limiting the movement. You know what I mean? So it's really just a really quick few seconds of what kind of damage you can do. And when you see the video on Takaratomi, you can see what I'm explaining, where when they launch against Cyclone, P.S. poor Cyclone, because they always burst them in every Takaratomi video. Basically, they launch Ultimate Valkyrie, it gets caught on the outer tornado ring for a little bit, but I guess because of the rubber, when it gets to create its attack and it dives in, it basically is able to burst Cyclone, and then you can see it would just have ran out of stamina like within maybe 2 or 3 spins right after that if it didn't get the burst or a knockout. So I'm hoping again that there will be some pretty awesome combinations. There are a bunch of drivers that I'm actually excited to try, and I hope they work. It's just a forged disc, but again, I also have, from what we have currently available, a pretty good idea of how I'll be testing and running Ultimate Valkyrie. But with that being said, I mean, things can shake up really quickly because we got the random boosters coming out, and next year we'll bring a whole slew of new Dynamite Battle Beyblades. All right, guys, well, enough for the Beyblade talks. I like saying, I should just say Beyblade. But anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Ultimate Valkyrie and DB in general. Leave some comments. Definitely enjoy hearing from you guys and talking and stuff and speculating and discussing. All right, thanks so much for hanging out. Don't forget, like and subscribe for some more awesome content. And in the meantime, always keep your faith, say a praise, be positive, be thankful, guys. And Captain Games will be coming back at you. Peace.